starlight of my life. We're reflecting like the sea on a winter night. Oh, honey, we're reflecting like the sea on a winter night. Two satellites. Ooh. Oh, come down to be with you now in a world so loud. Your sanctuary found in the dark. Feel your heart beat for something more. Subtle spark, a distant star is born. I believe we're reflecting like the sea on a winter night. Two satellites. Ooh. Words whispered, holding out our hand. You breathe life into barren lands. Oh, from where I stand, I believe we're reflecting like the sea on a winter night. Oh,
Hi, everybody. We are so glad to have you at Church Chat. Today we have Josh and Jessica Steele with us. And so we're just going to have a fun time chatting and getting to know each other. And then for you all to be able to join in with us and talking with you. Man, it's so nice to be with you guys. I love every time that we get together and talk, and it just, it means a lot to me. Now, Jessica, you were involved in the church for a few years back and then came back fairly recently. You want to talk a little bit about what things were like for you when you first were here?
I first came to the church.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, goodness. Like life changing.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was a single mom, pretty much rock bottom. No hope, no ideas what to do with myself, no way to get out of that problem, and had been hurt by religion in the past, but somebody told me go to a church for help, and I argued with myself about that because the hurt in the church in the past came from the fact that if you weren't a perfect, upstanding, don't do anything wrong member of the church, you didn't go for help. So I felt wrong. I felt like I shouldn't be going to the church for help. I didn't have any business doing that.
Sometimes God's church can get that way, can it? Where it doesn't really reach out and care for struggling people, and so
some more than others. So after arguing with myself for a little while, I really was at rock bottom. I didn't have any other options. I finally made a deal with myself that if I could go 3 times and listen open-mindedly, then I would allow myself to go to the church for help. And I went the first time, and not the church experience that I had had in my life. It was amazing. And I didn't have Christian friends at that time in my life. I didn't have people I could share my experience with, but I went home giddy. I couldn't wait till I could go again. It was like these people loved me, even though I was broken, and they didn't know me. And these are happy tears.
Oh, wonderful.
So it was an amazing experience. I immediately felt incredibly welcome and like, this is where I belong. Couldn't wait until I could go back again, and ultimately ended up going back, being convicted, and my life changed. Everything about my life changed. It was a full 180, 360, however you say it. I got the help I needed and found myself on a much, much better path.
Oh, that is awesome. Now, Josh, had you guys known each other at this time, or did you get to know each other later?
No, we had known each other for several years at that point. Yeah, had become friends and such, but had never gone to church or anything together. When I was young, I went to Belgrade Alliance for the first several years of my life until I was in probably 6th grade.
Okay.
So, and then we moved away from the church, and then I didn't come back till years later when we came back to the Bozeman area. So
that's great. So Jessica, when did you guys come back most recently?
Well, I don't even know if I can answer that. We visited the church. We moved. And when we moved, the church became quite a drive. And so we visited the church for holidays and the important events, because Belgrade will always be Belgrade Alliance will always be my home church. It's where I was saved. It's where everything changed. It's where I most felt at home. So we tried a few other churches nearer to us, and we always came back to Belgrade Alliance for holidays and stuff like that, but I just couldn't find anything that filled me up at any of the other churches. My son, I'd take him to these churches, and every time we leave and be like, Mom, can we just go back to Belgrade Alliance, please? I don't want to go to any more of these churches. These churches aren't Belgrade Alliance. So then I suppose, gosh, COVID started a year ago, so
3 or 4 years ago.
A year. Oh, I don't think it's been that long. Year and a half to 2 years ago, we started coming back to church pretty regularly on Sundays. But I don't know about that timeline.
Yeah,
time is relative anymore.
Yeah. Well, what's 1 or 2 things that you have liked about the church coming back and getting settled in?
All the same things I've always loved about it. It feels like home. I feel like I could come there in my pajamas and tears with greasy hair because I didn't have it in me to shower, and the people there would love me and hug me and pray on me and say it's going to be okay. That will always be what brings me back.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can be real and broken and loved, and no matter what is going on in your life, there are people that care and love about you. It's different than any other place.
Yeah. Oh, Josh, that's great. That's wonderful. So, yeah. So, what are the things that are going on in your life right now? What are you filling your life with?
You first? Me first? I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm doing the same old, same old. I'm out here in the country. I take care of a couple little goats. I got my animals. I've got more projects and passions than I know what to do with. So I'm sewing and I'm making pain relief bars and I'm thinking about the garden. It's January. I get to start thinking about the garden again soon, and canning and dehydrating. I'm a busy woman. I'm always doing something
Oh,
new and
that
creative and
sounds fun.
fun.
Well,
My
that's
life
a
is
typical
full
Montana
of
lifestyle, right? You got your garden, you got your goats, you're
yeah, myself, I'm doing great. My life is full of amazing, simple blessings. I found that the more you focus on the little simple blessings, the less complicated things get, and the slower it goes, and the easier everything is to get through. So I'm pretty content and happy out here doing my same old quiet little life.
Oh, that's awesome. So Josh, what do you do work-wise and maybe one thing you enjoy about work?
So I'm a tire technician at Interwest Tire in Belgrade. I love my work. I get to deal with a lot of people, and I work with a wonderful group of about 35 people that are spread all over the map, from saved to anarchists.
Wow.
And so it gives me a opportunity to speak and share with people in all different stages of their life. So I enjoy my work.
Yeah, a steady being at a work and be there day in and day out with people, be able to talk to them, let them see who you are and the impact. It has an impact that we don't even understand, because it's not like, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just more like it's an atmosphere that's developed over time, and
Developing relationships where you can impact someone's life.
Yeah.
In a positive manner.
Yeah. And what a wonderful thing to do, and life to have. Now you were telling me, fairly recent, when we were chatting, about you went through a very difficult business experience over a couple of years.
I did.
As I heard that story, I thought, boy, there could be some people that could really identify with that and everything. Maybe just share with me a little bit of what happened and then the impact that it's had on you.
So several years ago, I started my own business with a friend of mine, business associate, and we did a couple of years worth of work together, and were doing well. He had some family issues that he needed to go back for to where he can't come from, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Go deal with your family. It's important. Without that relationship, this is probably going to go downhill too. And he just up and took off, and with all of our stuff and everything, left me in a fairly high, dry position. But the Lord had sent me a message. One of my friends who worked at the shop that I work at now had contacted me about 2 weeks before with a job opportunity.
Wow.
And so when this all went down and things fell apart, the good Lord had provided another opportunity for me to just kind of scoop up the pieces and roll right into a new job that in the long run has done me better than the position that I was in before.
Wow.
And it's funny because I'd had this opportunity several years previous. And I believe that the Lord probably wanted me to go there earlier.
Okay.
Giving me that prodding. And I had thought, I don't want to do tires again. I haven't done tires in 10 years. And so I continued with the path that I thought was correct. Come to find out, I ended up at the tire shop.
God is so amazing in how he works in our lives, and you know,
he really puts us where we need to be.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're there and touching lives, and you know, that's a tremendous impact. One of the things that too, when we've talked, you guys have talked about how you work as a team, the two of you, encouragement. And I know, Josh, you are thrilled with the impact that Jessica has in people's lives, and you have made it possible for her to have space and time to be able to have an impact in people's lives. Jessica, maybe there's a person or two that you have been able to touch that you'd like to share with us about the impact in their life.
It's hard.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of people, that have told me that I've made a difference for them or that I've helped them. But I don't, at this moment in time, I'm blank.
Okay.
I know that there are. When I first started coming to church, I was afraid to tell everybody. I didn't want to be like, you can come, because I was afraid they would feel, for lack of a better word, Bible thumped.
Right.
Okay, I don't know how else to say it. So I didn't really invite anyone or really even open the door for people to come with me.
Right.
And after a little while there, one of my friends said something that made me realize she wished she had been invited. And I was like, do you want to come to church with me? You can come to church with me anytime. So, and she was like, yes, please. So then she actually started coming to the church. She came for quite a while. I think she actually goes to another bigger one in Bozeman now, but she's in church. So that's a win.
The seed was planted.
That's right.
Through that, I realized I needed to be more open, that I could present the idea that people were welcome to come to church with me without making them feel judged or condemned, or like, if you don't go to church, you're going to hell. So then I started openly inviting people. And I think in the first 3 or 4 months, 13 different people joined me at church.
Wow.
I was amazed. So that kind of gave me insight that God was going to use me to help people see his love and his forgiveness and his willingness to shape us into the most beautiful thing that he had for us, if we just let him.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really good at meeting people where they are, because I think because there was so much condemnation and judgment and lack of acceptance for humanness in that prior religious experience. Trying to weigh my words carefully.
Sure.
That I'm really good at making sure I don't do that. And I probably took it too far at some point, to the point that I didn't invite people. And then when I had that recognition that I need to meet people where they're at and show them what it looks like. So in that respect, I've helped a lot of people.
That's wonderful. It's hard to know the right balance, isn't it? Because if I jump out and talk to people, I don't want to offend them. But if I don't,
then I'm offending God.
Then I don't have an opportunity to touch their lives and have an impact.
Exactly. So, and it's a fine art of meeting people where they are, and making sure that you're not offending God in the process, because that's far more important than offending them. But if I offend them to the point that I turn them away, then I'm offending God some more. So, I've got a knack for that balance, meeting people where they are and helping them see that. What I learned is that presenting God to people in a way, if you can just get them to see his love, the more that they understand his love for them, the more that they want to please him
Yes.
They don't want to offend him. You can't go at someone saying, you're going to hell for this, 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 or this. It makes people feel defensive and judged. And
Right.
like, why would I want a God like that?
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to people saying, oh, that's a lie about you, God loves you, and they start to feel that they could be lovable, that they could be loved and they could be accepted, then it's like, oh, well, gosh, I don't want to hurt us. I want to lift him up. I don't want to go out and do this thing that's going to cause him to not want to accept me. So I found that helping people understand God's love makes them want to do the things that won't offend him.
Sure. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate, I just love the fact that you guys have a heart for people, that you're a team and you're working, you know, to try to have an impact, you know, in just little ways around life, you know.
I don't think either one of us could do it without the other. We are definitely stronger together.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Bev as my teammate, and it's really a great help. So, well, thank you guys. It was just nice, and it'll be fun for people to get a chance to get to know you, some who don't, and for others just to hear what God's doing in your life. And I'm just so grateful that you're with us at the church, and we're excited to see what God's going to do after COVID and everything. Well,
I have
we'll
no doubt that his hands are all over whatever is going on right now. He wouldn't be letting it happen if it wasn't okay with him. So he's got a plan. We just need to trust in it.
He does. You bet. Well, good to be with you guys, and I appreciate all that you are.